Today we're looking at my top 3 belts. My favorite belts, the belts that I use interchangeably. I'll change them out periodically depending on what the day is or what I'm doing that day. But these are the 3 belts that I use on the regular basis. Welcome back to Loadout Lounge. My name is Seth Nichols and we're looking at belts today. Let's get into it. So today I have 3 different belts that I use quite regularly, depending on what I'm going to be doing that day. So the first belt we'll talk about is the Groove Life Groove Belt. Now this one is, it's magnetized, the buckle is magnetized, that is how it clasps, and it's fairly tight as far as that. It does stretch, the actual belt itself stretches. The Groove Life belt is probably one of my most recent purchases on belts, and it's one that I wear whenever I'm dressing up a little bit. Like today I went to work, I was wearing this, and I have my cool Renegade pants on, and I was wearing this belt. It's a little bit more comfortable for all day wear compared to maybe my Core Essentials or the Safari Land that I have. But the Groove Life belt is adjustable. It has on the inside a way to adjust it a little bit. I have not cut this. It is a little bit long on the inside. I have not cut it just because I didn't want to mess with it. But you can cut the extra off all the way down as short as you want it. I just left it on there. But it's not that hard to cut. And then there's a little elastic band that will hold that little tail end close to the belt. So I will show it with it on. I'm not going to necessarily, you can conceal carry with this depending on what gun you're carrying. A full-size gun is going to weigh it down a little bit. Maybe a Glock 26 or maybe the single stack Glocks would work well with this, or some other single stack lighter handgun wouldn't sag this down a little bit. It wouldn't sag it down as much with a single stack. With the double stack, with my Glock 19, it's going to sag a little bit because my Glock 19 is kind of heavy. It's full mag. So with this, I'm not really going to carry like my Glock 19. Now I have, and it does a good job, but over time it's just going to make the belt sag, and you can definitely feel the Glock 19 there, which on any belt, you're going to feel a Glock 19 or a bigger gun, the 17s or the 40 calibers, all those, you're going to feel it. But with stiffer belts, it's going to have more support. So this is a very flexible nylon strap compared to maybe like the Core Essentials, which has a stiffer piece inside of the belt to keep it stiff. This, I wouldn't wear a full-size handgun on this long term, definitely. As far as price, this is going to be the most cost efficient. I don't say the cheapest because it is good quality, but as far as price, it's going to be the lowest price right now. On their website, on groovelife.com, you go look at the Groove belt. It's $49. Normally it's $64.95, $65 on their website, but I think they have a sale going on right now. I just checked right before we started recording, and if you look on Amazon, they're $65 right now. So it makes me think that Groove Life has a sale going on all their belts. So if you're in the need for a belt, I would go on and pick one of these up, because they have all kinds of different color options. I actually didn't order this belt from the website. We have a local gearhead that sells all kinds of different stuff, and we went in there, and my wife and I, we bought this belt because I liked it, and it fits me as far as the blue, and it's got a gunmetal buckle color, and it's steel. So it's magnetized, it's very slim, it's very professional looking. Some concealed carry belts look very tactical. This, if you want to conceal carry, you can. But like I said, it's not going to be the best at concealed carrying. With the groove belt is going to keep the gun tight to me. The groove belt, the gun is tight to my back. I do have an extended mag, so I am going to print in this shirt, but it does keep it very snug. You just have to make sure that you have it adjusted. Now, whenever, you can honestly tell that it drops quite a bit whenever I'm not holding it up. And you'll tell the difference with the core essentials, the X1, it doesn't drop as much, it doesn't sag. And you can tell this on your hip, it's sagging, and you're carrying all the weight of that on your hip. So just a thing to note, you can still carry a Glock 19 with it, with an extended mag, but it's not as comfortable. For all of my law enforcement buddies and viewers, you're gonna know what this belt is as soon as you see it. As soon as you see the basket weave pattern on it, you already know. So this is Safariland. This is an underbelt or a duty belt. This goes under most police officers' heavier duty belt. They use keepers to keep this on, and this kind of helps carry the weight of all the different stuff. This is typically, I use this whenever I go camping, whenever I'm outside doing any type of work or anything like that. I'm not worried about this belt. This belt, it is a work belt, pretty much. My son and I went camping over the weekend, and I wore this all the time. It's super easy. If I need to take it off, just undo the Velcro, pull it out, throw it off to the side or something. And then if you need to get it on, it's pretty easy to get right back on, just because it's very slim. And with the ends of it, they're pointed, so it makes it very easy to get through the belt loops. It's a super light belt as well. And as far as price, it's listed as the Safariland 99. It's a buckleless duty belt. It's $51 on Galls.com. Galls is kind of the law enforcement supply website, and it's $51 is not a bad price for a belt. And you probably could still carry with this. It's not as flexible as the groove belt. It is still pliable. It is still bendy a little bit, but as far as the belt goes, you can also see there is a curve in the belt over time, just being worn. I have concealed carry with this, so the belt is going to curve a little bit. I don't know if you can pick that up on the camera footage. I may need to lay it on the counter so y'all can see it, but it does curve because I've concealed carry with this a lot, and the weight has just bent the belt. So just one thing to think about with this Safariland belt. I'm not going to wear this every day. I wear it whenever I'm working or whenever I'm doing stuff that I'm not worried about messing up a belt or something. I've got some belts that I don't want to scar or scratch or anything like that, because I need to look presentable, and I want to wear those belts for that type of presentation. So. With the Safariland 99, it's going to be about as firm as some of the other belts. It's all going to depend on how much you can cinch over, because it is a hook and loop style clasping system. It's not got a buckle or anything like that. It is a buckleless belt. So with the Safariland, it's not going to move as much either. For a lighter belt that doesn't have as much stiffness, it is a little bit stiffer than the groove belt, and it's going to hold the gun straight to your back. It's not going to move around too much. It's definitely not wiggling a whole lot. With the Safariland, it's going to keep it firm, and it's not going to move around too much. It's not going to wiggle. If you're running around acting like a goofball, it might wiggle around a little bit, but it's not going to move much. I've worn this belt with this gun quite often. Now, the last belt is probably one of my most common carries. Is between this and the groove belt. I use this belt a lot whenever I want to conceal carry, or when I'm dressing up or whatever, because this is a pretty belt. If you look at belts, and all things considered, you wouldn't think this is a tactical belt, but I'm sitting here holding it by the buckle, and it's not laying down flat. It's not bent over. That drastic. It is the Core Essentials belt. This is the X1 with the gunmetal buckle. Now with the Core Essentials or Core belts, this is the gun belt. This is a belt that looks like it would be on a business person, but it can sit here and hold my Glock 19 on my back, and it's not going to sag too much, and it's going to carry it very well. With the Core X1 belts, they are designed for gun carry. They're designed for concealed carry. And one thing I liked about these is just the ratcheting part of it. So on the inside of the belt toward the tongue or the end of it, it's got little bitty tabs that go inside of the buckle itself, and you'll hear clicking. Okay, that's where the buckle has a little locking mechanism that you can adjust it and you can tighten it. So when you're cinching down and you're wearing a belt, you just tighten it to where you can't tighten anymore. If you got to suck in the gut a little bit, you can tighten it a couple more pops, and then it'll be right as rain. It'll be good to go. With the Core Essentials, you've got a bunch of different buckle designs that you could pick from on their website. And the belt it's adjustable-ish. So basically when you get the belt, you've got different measurements on the back side, going from 28 all the way up to the 40 somethings, and you cut it off to where they suggest. You have these different screws on the inside that allows this latch to open up. Now when the latch opens up, there's some pretty sharp teeth on the inside of this buckle to hold the end of the buckle tight inside. So whenever you cut the belt off at the desired length, you put it inside of the end of the buckle, you clamp down the little lever that has the teeth on it, and then you tighten the screws, and that keeps the actual belt leather from coming out. I'm tugging, you're not going to get this out. Those teeth sink in and it's not going anywhere. So it's a very well made belt. It's heavy duty, but it's not heavy. On the Core Essentials website, you can buy a hanger, which I would say is probably one of the best accessories for your belt. I don't know if y'all have this problem, but I have a problem with where do I put my belts? Do I put them in my sock drawer, my underwear drawer? Do I hang them? Right now, I have a hat hanger that I have mounted to the wall, and I hang my belts from that. Now, with the Safariland and the Groove Life, they just have to hang from a hook like this. With the Core Essentials, they have a hanger that your belt buckle just clasps to, and it'll keep it straight up and down and keep it flat. It won't be sticking out as much. It's not hard to handle. With these other belts, if it's hanging and it's on my other hats, it'll poke out like that much off the wall. And so I'm bumping into them if I'm walking by. You can have this in your closet and it'll hang right out the way, and it can hang up with your hanging clothes. So that's one thing I like about with Core Essentials is you can get this hanger just for your belt. You can take off the buckle and put over here. If you have extra buckles or something like that, you can hang 3 belts on this, and you can put some attachments on the top. So one of the cool things about Core Essentials is their little hanger. This I don't think necessarily comes with the belt. I'll have to look that up. With the X1 on their website on coreessentials.com, it is $120. So it is not a cheap belt by any means. It's on the more expensive side, but whenever I went to buy this, I wanted a belt to concealed carry with. I wanted a belt that I knew was going to hold up, that wasn't going to break down over time of carrying a firearm. And right now on their website, and they may do this all the time, but with your first purchase, it's 10% off. So it's going to be a little bit cheaper than the $120 price mark, but you always look out for any sales that they may have. I would say right now, go ahead and get one if you don't have one, because if you're looking for a concealed carry belt, Core Essentials is the way. The X1 is a great belt. It's very sturdy, and I can sit here and hold it just by the belt itself, and it's stiff. It's not going anywhere. So that should speak to it in volumes. With the X1 from Core Essentials, it's going to feel a lot more firm. It's not going to potentially sag as much. It's going to keep the gun back up to your back pretty firm, but it's barely moving back here. It's not sagging any. I'm not feeling it weighing me down over here. It's not sagging as much as the groove belt, but it fits my Alienware holster very well. I do have the Glock 19 with the extended mag still. The mag is completely full, so this is what I would carry, just like this.